Hey guys, Chrisspy here, and I wanted to make a video today to give advice to anybody who's thinking about making a YouTube channel or an Instagram account. So I get emailed about this a lot, and the number one pattern that I notice across all these emails is it's girls who are saying that they really want to, but that they're not ready to start a YouTube channel or an Instagram account. They say they don't have the right equipment, they're waiting on the right camera, they're waiting on more time in their schedule to free up. There's always an excuse, but the reality is you're never actually gonna be ready, so you just have to start. Because if you're waiting until you're ready, until everything's perfect, you're gonna be waiting forever. When I first started, I actually thought the same thing to myself. I was like, I want my videos to be perfect. And I thought that I was gonna bypass the quality stage, and I didn't. It was, it's inevitable. What was really missing from my videos was a human connection. There's something that that person can relate to you about. And so it doesn't matter if you have perfect production value. If there's no human connection, then there's really no reason why that person is gonna wanna come back to you. Right now, especially on Instagram and YouTube, there are so many talented makeup artists. So really the only way you can differentiate yourself is just by being you. Also, when you're first starting out, I know it's really hard, but try your hardest to not pay attention to the numbers. It can be so discouraging if you live in that kind of state of comparison where you're looking at other people's numbers and why aren't my likes as high or my growth, whatever. At the end of the day, all that's gonna do is just hold you back mentally. It's gonna weigh you down. Try your best to not pay attention to it and just continue to move forward and keep creating good content. So I hope I encourage you guys to really be yourself. If you want to be a fashion blogger, don't create the same thing that you're seeing everybody else doing. Do what is truly unique to you, and don't wait until you're ready or until it's perfect, because like I said, if you're waiting until you're ready, you're gonna be waiting forever. Just get started now. And then also don't pay attention to the numbers. It's really all about like the impact that you're making, the connections that you're making with people. That is so much more powerful than what a little number says. If you guys have stuck with me through this long in the video, now I want to offer you some more technical advice towards building a following, because half of it is heart and the other half is strategic. So when I first started on Instagram, I remember I came across an article that said how to build a following on Instagram. The first tip was to analyze your content and see what your audience responds to the most. So I looked at all the pictures that I had at the time, and I noticed that for me, the picture that I posted of my makeup had crazy amount of likes and comments. So I was like, okay, that's what my audience wants to see. The next tip that you want to stick to is being consistent. You have to keep putting out good content all the time. On Instagram, I try and upload at least once a day, which anybody who tries to do Instagram knows how much harder that is than it actually sounds. And then on YouTube, I try and upload once a week. Twice a week would be phenomenal, but all I can do is once a week. Also, another good tip or another best practice is to only put out the best of the best content. You don't want to just upload something just to upload something. You want to make sure that it's good and it's worth people's time. Also, you don't want to flood anyone's feed. On Instagram, I'll see that. Sometimes I can tell, I'm like, this person hasn't been on Instagram in a month, and they literally just uploaded like 20 photos all at once. That's flooding my feed, and people don't like that. On Instagram, I still use hashtags for discovery. Some people feel certain ways about it, but I mean, I personally, when I'm looking for an idea, I will look on hashtags. And especially on the Discover page, the way that it's set up now is they have the trending tags. So it's just a good mode of discovery, and it doesn't hurt anything unless you're posting like, whatever, a whole paragraph of hashtags. Maybe that bothers some people, but it really doesn't matter. Speaking of hashtags, hashtags are also a good way for brands or curators to discover your content and then repost you. Another tip that I've read online is that when you look at your feed in thumbnail view, that your feed should almost look like a magazine, meaning that, and that's really more for if like you're building a brand, like you have a certain aesthetic, like someone sees your pictures and they automatically recognize like, oh, that's Chrisspy, because I can just tell by the aesthetic of the photo. So for me, I mean, I'm not exactly the best, but I mean, I guess like all of my pictures have pretty bright contrast It has legibility. I feel like on Instagram you have like 2.5 seconds to like catch somebody's attention, they engage with it, and then they move on. So for me, when I try and make a photo, I try and look at it from far away and see, does it catch my eye? Do I know what it is? Or like, do I have to sit there and look to try and find out what it is? Or the color is like boring. So I just try and make it as easy as I can for the viewer. So I think those are all of the practical tips that I have towards building an online following. So yeah, I'm kind of doing this on the fly. So I'm sure I'm gonna think of others that I wanted to say. Leave me your questions down below and maybe I will do a follow-up video about this, maybe answer some more specific questions that you guys have. But I hope overall this was helpful and it motivated you to don't care what anybody thinks. It's not gonna be perfect and that's okay. Don't look at the numbers and just get started and put your heart into it, and people are gonna respond to that more than someone who wants to be perfect just to get their numbers up. Because you can tell when someone is in it just being them versus when they're out there trying to just replicate what they see. So don't get caught in that perfection trap. All right, you guys, like I said, leave me those questions, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already. Oh, and I just wanted to talk about, just mention real quick, thank you so much for all the love on my Halloween videos. This was the most exciting time for me ever in my YouTube career. I guess in my career period. Hey, I was just super excited. I'm so proud of those videos and I'm so excited that you guys liked them too. All right, you guys, thank you for watching and I'll see you soon. Some advices.